Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Seer. And this card just dropped off. You know, in last time we talked about it, about a week ago, it was, listening to the riddles and looking at the signs that she has for you as you were moving forward, out of this, I think it was for a relationship, all right? That maybe you found a relationship and, now you're looking at the signs. And, 7 days later, she comes up and she says the same thing, okay? And it's not necessarily about the signs that she wants you to focus on, but it's also the, looking at the wisdom and drawing on the wisdom that you've gained over the last week, all right? And understanding where you're at in the world, okay? Even though she speaks in riddles, you have to listen intently to what Gaia, the universe, is saying, all right? And, that will help give you the wisdom for your journey as you're moving forward. The Seer, she represents insight and stillness from within. And, she wanted you to be within when you were going through the relationship thing or developing that relationship. And now that you developed that relationship, you know what that fulfillment is, because the Three of Bows is still down here. All right, and maybe you have to go through some instruction, or maybe you have to learn something different, which allows you to, which is represented by the Ten of Arrows, instruction. You went inside to look at what you needed to improve on, where you needed to grow. And it could be frustrating sometimes, that's represented by the Hooded Man and the Five of Arrows. And then the Pole Star came up, and that's, more like, listen to what the universe has for you. And then the Seer pops up. Now you have 4 life lessons cards in the last week. And this is telling me that this is an awakening for you. This is an opportunity for you to, really see what's going on as you're moving forward. You got that, developed that relationship, right? Now it's an opportunity to look into your soul and manifest and create some sort of artistic work, whether that's in your work projects, whether that's in developing other relationships. Maybe it's looking at the creative process of buying a house, all right? Maybe a creative process in your finances, possibly a creative process in developing new friends. Maybe it's travel, all right? Whatever it is that you want to manifest, the Seer is here to help nurture that, okay? Like I said, you've looked within, all right, and it's time to learn and grow. Maybe it's an education. Maybe you said to yourself, you know what? I feel secure in my relationship. Maybe, I ought to study, something that'll help me in my career. Or maybe I ought to volunteer myself at a hospital so I can, help people out to, advance, whatever it is I want to advance, in your career. And then the Seer pops up. She's the inspiration from behind that. She's the inspiration for creative music, creative writing, the opportunity to create change in the world. All right. And this is coming at a time where things are really taking off for you. Your relationship's taking off for you, and it's an opportunity for you to grow. Those opportunities may not, be coming hand over fist, okay? But that's where the Seer is saying, you know what? Listen, watch, feel, taste, intuit the opportunities that are there. Listening to the messages, the riddles that she's seeking. Are they on the air, or is it, maybe you're tuning through radio stations and you hear something, or maybe somebody continues to ask you the same somebody asks you a question. Why aren't you doing that? And you give that person the answer. And then 2 hours later, you're in a different setting. Somebody says, why aren't you doing that? And you give them the same answer. And maybe the next day somebody asks you, why aren't you doing that? For me, at that point, after the second time raises a flag. A third time is like, you know what? This is a message from the universe. This is a message from the seer telling me that it's time to move forward on that. So that, that's part of the listening piece of it. Feeling it. If you are in a position, I had a friend of mine go ahead and, went to a different part of the world. And when they came home, they were like, I felt like I've been there before. And I explained to them, I said, you probably did. You probably were there before. All right? And that's that sense of feeling of being comfortable in a place. Being comfortable, near water. Being comfortable on a beach. Being comfortable in the woods. Right? Just feeling like you belong there. Feeling like, that it's a place you've never been to before, but it's like you've been there for forever. So that's a great example of the feeling. Intuition helps guide you into such, into areas. Whether to turn left or whether to turn right. And those are all the riddles, that the seer teaches or, talks about and, let you, meditate on. All right. Different tastes. I know for myself, I love Mexican food. I love Japanese food. And I know for a fact that, I've had past lives as a Mexican person and a Japanese person. I don't necessarily, speak the languages, but I do, I understand the Mexican culture. I understand the Japanese culture. And those are all signs in that are out there that, I can relate to. And, maybe there's some stuff that you can relate to as well, right? That's where this seer is coming out right now. This seer is asking you to, look within, all right? You want to grow. You want to either, get some instruction on something, all right? It might be frustrating, but when you grow and you move forward, okay, that's where you can focus your power on what the seer is trying to tell you. Focus your power on what she has and let it flow through. Manifest that inner spirit to help bring that joy and pleasure to others. Because when you manifest that and you include others in your journey, that lets them think that, hey, I'm a part of his success. I'm a part of her success. All right? And that's great support to have. They're going to be there for energy. They're going to be there for support. They're going to be there for health, for love. And, whatever that bond is, they're going to continue to grow it. So, as I look down at the cards, like I said, the seer is here to give you the riddles. And here's the first one. The universe has got your back, represented by that pole star. All right? You threw it out there to the universe, hopefully yesterday. And, the seer's responding back. All right? Go back to that instruction of that 10 of arrows. Go back to learning something that'll help you not become frustrated. Right? And the 5 of arrows is actually pointing to the pole star. So that's telling me, that though you may be frustrated in the way your journey's going, the way your path is going, by shooting the arrows toward the universe is going to redirect those arrows to come back at you. All right? And the seer is looking at it saying, okay, they're going to hit their mark. Are you going to be ready? Now, the hooded man is looking away. So that tells me that, even though the universe, how do I want to say that? The 5 of arrows is looking to the universe. The hooded man is looking away, which means you need to be, you looked within to get the answers. 10 of arrows, the instruction was pointed right at the hooded man. So, maybe you had to learn how to meditate. Maybe you had to learn how to, talk to your soul. Look within to get the answers you need, because you know what it takes to be fulfilled. You had that. And then the green man, another life lessons card, is looking straight at you, wants to give you that kingship, that mantle of the wildwood forest. All right. And, you know, the hooded man and the green man, you know, they're walking with you on your path. The seer that just dropped off is still with you. She came back around and said, you know what? I'm not ready to leave your side yet. There's still a couple lessons you need to learn. All right. And I'm here to help you out. Listen to what I have to say. All right. Discern the riddles that she's asking you. And once you understand what those riddles are, that'll help bring joy and pleasure to yourself on your path and to others. So that's today's tarot card of the day, the Seer card out of the Wildwood Tarot deck. Hit that like button for me, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. Stay safe, everybody.